Stepping from our ordinary world into the fantastical, Immersive XP explores the weird and wonderful imaginations behind a diverse range of themed experiences. From virtual reality to escape rooms to live-action roleplay, nothing is off the table. We'll take a deep dive into what makes these adventures worth attending and which ones to avoid. Join me on a journey to explore the extraordinary and meet the people who make dreams a reality. Welcome back to another episode of Immersive XP. I'm Taylor Forge, your non-binary host, based in Southern California, seamstress by trade, silly little guy by trauma. Favorite school subject? Chemistry. Fun fact of the week. Well, you may have seen people in movies or TV use drinking alcohol, such as vodka, to disinfect a wound. Its ability to be used in medical scenarios is largely a myth. Vodka contains ethanol, which can be good for getting rid of bacteria, but it's not concentrated enough compared to rubbing alcohol, which is much more recommended. In addition, ethanol is not great against most viruses and microorganisms. You can use vodka to clean surfaces, deodorize smells, and keep cut flowers alive longer, but when it comes to cleaning a wound, please stick to medical recommended products like antiseptic wipes or the tried and true soap and water. This week's episode is a Feed Me a Tale, which is any immersive experience that revolves around food or drink. From its successful start in New York City and now its fourth location, the Drunken Laboratory has made its way to Los Angeles. While I had been receiving targeted ads for its anticipated opening, I still went into it pretty blind as to what an evening at the Drunken Lab would really be like. Luckily, I went to its preview night over the summer and passed the class with flying colors. Let's jump into a chemistry class you'll never forget. The Drunken Laboratory, at its core, is a chemistry class for adults. But, the fun kind. If you've ever longed to create small explosions or out-of-control green foam, while someone else handles all of that cleanup stuff, this may be for you. Unlike school, the Drunken Lab has the added bonus of drinks for attending and shots for those who excel in the class. While there are non-alcoholic tickets available, it's pretty clear that alcoholic drinks are the main focus, hence the name. What I didn't expect going in was how dirty and flirty the theming was. When my friend and I entered, we were shown the menu of 3 drink options, which had names such as Big Dick Energy and Ho Tendencies.
Wonderful.
Our first task, when getting to our table, was to come up with a sexy lab name. So my friend Dr. Sip and I, Mix Slurp, got into the provided lab coat, goggles, and gloves, ready to begin experiments.
I like that.
Icebreakers started off the evening while we enjoyed cocktails and shots held in fake syringes. With the introduction of Professor Top Daddy, we could begin our very first pop quiz. The lab tables that did the best with some fairly basic science questions and some trick true or false questions received additional shots. As a general rule, you were rewarded with shots if you did better than your peers.
That's what I'm talking about.
On to the first experiment, which included a small science lesson from Professor Top Daddy as to why mixing various ingredients resulted in a small explosion.
Whoa.
While that was cleaned up and the next experiment was being prepared, it became time for Music 101, or drunken karaoke. This mostly included pop songs I don't know well, which put me at a disadvantage, but other people really got into it. The live DJ really put their all into hyping everyone up, so it was fun regardless. Before a small intermission for a restroom break, they made sure to shout out everyone celebrating a birthday, which resulted in, you guessed it, more shots.
Tasty.
On to the next experiment, with many steps and liquids for the exploding foam. I think everyone enjoys this part, no matter how old you are. With cleanup underway, a surprise task required 4 brave souls to volunteer. Of course, I did, but what happened was completely unexpected. I normally like to keep things like this a surprise for listeners who want to attend for themselves, but seeing as this was not mentioned or warned in the safety waiver or on the website, I'd like to make this part very clear for the especially squeamish. Each person who volunteered took turns closing their eyes while a real dead animal that would normally be used for a dissection would be placed into their hands. Based on feel alone, the person would have to guess what animal it was. I had a turtle placed into my hands, and it felt rather shocking not knowing what to do in the moment aside from play along. Even the professor made an aside that it seemed more reasonable during dress rehearsal. I cannot say if this part of the experience is still going on since I went to the preview night, or if this happens at other locations, but it was pretty saddening. It also brought up many additional questions considering a full manta ray was one of the animals. Then a complete 180 and we're celebrating our Drunken Lab graduation with lots of music and dancing. Afterward, I was able to talk to some of the owners and staff. Drunken Lab is a woman-led Black-owned business, and they oversee and train each location. The two owners I met are so passionate about their work, and I love discussing immersive experiences with them. Everyone from the DJ to the bar staff were super friendly and enthusiastic about the new location. While this immersive experience is called the Drunken Lab, I feel like the drink aspect was a bit of an afterthought with a focus on fun science. They made sure to make them each look cute, with one having a bubbling effect, definitely the best for a social media video. The shots and fake syringes were also fun for social media purposes, but seemed to pull focus from the bar with cocktails. With plenty of opportunities to earn shots throughout the evening, I didn't feel like I needed more drinks than what was provided. Things I liked. I love an immersive experience that takes something simple we enjoyed as kids and gives it new life for adults to enjoy. Doing fun experiments with friends is a great bonding activity and very nostalgic. While not advertised, I did enjoy the dirty, flirty theming.
Okay.
But it's definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I do feel like this should be a little bit more apparent in the marketing so it targets the right demographic. This is a great experience if you're wanting wacky social media content, especially because it supports people who genuinely love the work they do. Things I didn't like. I would have liked more care put into the drink aspect of the Drunken Laboratory. I know it's not easy for every immersive experience, especially this one that has a lot of moving parts, but for an event advertised as Science and Drinks Evening, the science did a lot of the work. I'm still not sure what to think of the animal thing. Everyone I've talked to about it has been shocked, and I'm curious what the thoughts were behind the idea and if it's still part of the experience. Their website has generic, frequently asked questions and information about the 4 locations as a whole, but does not have individual information about each location. For example, the FAQ states that some food is available for purchase, but as far as I know, this does not apply to the Los Angeles location. As for accessibility, there is also a lack of accessibility information on the website, and I had to ask questions for myself or wait to see it in person. The Drunken Lab is located in downtown Los Angeles, so the parking and sidewalks next to this building is especially difficult to walk on. I was fortunate enough to find free street parking less than a block away, but the walkways are fairly broken with steep slopes to the building. The tables inside are fairly spaced apart, so I didn't feel cramped at all and movement was easy. Restrooms are located downstairs, but there is an easily accessible elevator if needed. While shown in some of the social media videos, there is no warning of flashing lights on their website or in the waiver. I'm honestly wondering why the flashing lights are necessary because it didn't really add anything to the overall vibe. This is a 21+ event, even if you purchase a non-drinking ticket. With the sexy theming and alcohol focus, this is definitely an adult outing. The target age feels very early 20s to mid-30s, but many others can join in the fun. While their Houston, Miami, and Los Angeles locations only have adult evenings, the New York location has a kid-friendly experience called Fun Lab. Be sure to check that out if you live or visit the area. As for the price, Tickets are sold for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings with some afternoons. Non-drinking tickets are priced at $70 with taxes and fees, and drinking tickets are $81. If you want to splurge for a date night, admission for two is $184, but comes with additional alcohol to share. I personally feel that the non-drinking ticket should be a lot less with an $11 difference. It may not be worth the experience at that price. $81 for a drinking ticket is a little expensive with comparable experiences in the area that provide more, but they have a lot of incredible staff involved and likely have more insurance required due to safety concerns. As for personal recommendations, be sure to book early because they have a minimum amount of people who need to purchase tickets to ensure they can run the experience. Otherwise, they have to cancel and you'll need to book a new time slot. Ride sharing is highly recommended, especially because drinks are involved and the area is not very walkable. Parking can be a nightmare in downtown Los Angeles as a general rule. Also, be sure to arrive early. Traffic can be awful, and if you'd like to sit with friends, seating is a first-come, first-served basis. Overall, the Drunken Lab is a silly good time, with the best parts of high school chemistry class without all of the homework. It's been open for a few months, so there are bound to be hiccups in the process, but I'm sure they'll have their groove on in no time. Hopefully, it leads them to open more locations in the future. Until next time, without music, life would be a mistake. Interestingly, you've made so many already. Check out our website, immersivexps.com, to join our free Ko-fi, which will have visuals and additional content of the immersive experiences discussed in each episode. If you are an immersive experience artist or creator, no matter how small, consider contacting us so you can take part on a future podcast. This podcast is recorded and produced by SoCal Podcast Studio in Orange County. Thanks for listening. Randomly. Why you do this to me? It also didn't want me to talk about this.